Hello, welcome back to One Piece Anime Review. This is part number 21. This I'm reviewing the hour-long special, A Heartbroken Duel, Sanji versus Luffy. Basically, it was broken up into two parts for, yeah. This one is an adaptation of chapters 843 and pretty much the entirety of 844. That's in the second part, with a few pages from chapter 843. So basically, most of episode 807 is an adaptation of 843. Yeah, but for some reason, I have no idea why the episode did this. I mean, it starts off with basically Luffy finding Sanji basically on the carriage, basically at the end of the previous episode, and the thing he just sort of kicks him off and then for some reason, I have no idea why the episode decided to do this. Most of the episode is stock footage of stuff we've already seen, like the stuff of the Bastille, some of the stuff from flashback to Sanji's childhood. I don't really get a why. I mean, the only thing I thought was really new of the flashbacks was basically Sanji, instead of basically going, basically opening up open the Bastille, because pretty much almost everything in this first part was mostly stock footage. I don't get why the anime did this for. I mean, I get the fact, yeah, you want a flashback and everything Sanji's done, but why in the world would you reuse stuff you already done before? Especially some of the stuff was just seen not too long ago in this particular season. Yeah, I don't really know why. It just there was one hour one. Basically, if Sanji get on the ship after he abandons the German 66 mobile island to go onto the cruise ship, which leads into Red Lake Zareth. That's a couple things I thought was really original for this particular episode. Guess it just seems like this episode is like, okay, you see that, oh yeah, and Luffy starts out with the episode still basically the way it was in the previous episode, still like big, huge. Excuse me. With him while he used to sleep on top of this tree, which the top had been chopped off of it. He just gets smaller and smaller. He gets back to his normal size, and then pretty much, yeah. Then of course finds Sanji, kicks him off, and pretty much, if this episode and the next one pretty much play out exactly how the manga depicts it. There's like no real change at all. Basically, Luffy basically stands his ground, refuses to fight. Sanji basically beats the living crap out of him, kicks him basically like crazy. Like his first blow basically causes nose and mouth to bleed, and knocks out one of his teeth. Yeah, and I don't know if he grew that tooth back or not. I don't really remember if he did or not. Because it's been a little while since I read the chapter that basically about the stuff afterwards. It hasn't been that too long per se, but yeah. And of course, Nami basically after Sanji pretty much finishes beating up Luffy, she comes up, walks up, slaps him, and doesn't use the honorific that she's known for using when she addresses Sanji in the sub. Yeah, in the sub she refers to him as Sanji-kun. In the dub she just refers to him simply as Sanji. Here was the first time she actually, in the sub, just referred to him simply as Sanji without the honorific. Because at that point she thought that he lost the purpose of using it. And basically cries, and Luffy pretty much spats to this, pretty much the same exact dialogue that he did basically after Sanji left. He was crying. Basically said he'll stay there and he won't eat anything until Sanji comes back. Basically, he doesn't say he apologized to him per se. Basically, until he comes back, because he doesn't believe that the whole thing of him fighting. He believes that basically that was all something that he had to do. But yeah, a lot of the stuff he was spouting out, basically, even he agrees, basically, was bullcrap. Yeah, it was all basically a bunch of lies, just to basically put on a show for his family. Yeah. Not much else per se. Great job basically with this particular fight. The anime did a great job with it basically. As far as I can tell, No really change for the Duel itself from manga to actual anime, but it's animated really well. I gotta praise it for that. For an hour-long special, it's just basically kind of odd that most of it is stock footage. Yeah. Basically, and also they do more than one like little commercial break thing. Usually, they do like halfway through the episode. Excuse me, and they show off like 2 Wonder posters. In the first part, they show up 4 Wonder posters: Luffy, Zoro, Nami, and Usopp. That's what they show off in the first part. In the second part, I think they also show off in part 2, they show off Sanji. I think Sanji was also the last episode. I think Sanji was the last episode. Sanji along with Chopper, because apparently this first part had like 3 commercial breaks. So they show Sanji and Chopper. Next episode was basically Robin, Frankie, and Brooke. And they show Luffy's a couple times and Sanji's a couple times as well for their Wonder posters. I kind of get the reason why they did this because, well, it had multiple commercials, because usually they just do like 1 and that's it. Like, both of them basically had like 3 commercial breaks apiece. Yeah. Just to drag out the episode. That's what it would look like to me. Excuse me. Otherwise, that's really much it. As for the most recent chapter that came out, basically chapter 880, it's just basically just the crew basically just have a good conversation while Sanji, Pudding, and I'm trying to think, what was her name? She's basically Lola's twin sister. They finally arrive at the island and they start basically doing the cooking. And Luffy is basically losing his duel bad. His fight with one of I think it's not Cracker. It's one of Big Mom's other sons. He's losing a duel badly, and he's telling Nami to smash every single mirror on the ship just to make sure they don't get out. Though I tell you, want to know, how is he going to get out? Yeah, that is a big question. I think everybody's going to ask when basically been asking this whole time. But who knows when when this arc will end, because this arc in the manga has been going on for 56 chapters. No, seriously, it's been going for 56 chapters. Not unusual, basically, for arcs to last this long, but yeah. Let's see. Not much else per se, but yeah. So basically, the next episode is going to air on the 14th. Yeah, on the 14th, the 15th of this month. Basically, about 2 weeks after the next episode. After this episode that aired this past Sunday. Though Anime Rush basically is getting it early. Yeah, that's just my thing about it. I know for a fact that Dragon Ball Super didn't air an episode this past Saturday. So basically, it's their turn to have an hour-long special. Basically, this coming weekend. While next weekend is basically everything's back normal. I gotta say, basically, for the special, it's actually not that bad for the hour-long episode. I just kind of wish they would do a little bit better job, basically, doing stuff within the anime of celebrating the 20th anniversary, aside from the fact you have this duel between Sanji and Luffy. Yeah. So, that's really it for this part. Not much else to say. Good episode. Well, the second half I thought was a lot better than the first part because, well, first part was mostly stock footage. Yeah. So, that's it for this part. Stay tuned for whenever I get a chance. Probably next week or two, I'll do part 22, which will be episode 809. Which, let's see, what's the name of the episode? Excuse me. Let's see. Next week's episode is called I have to look it up here. Let's see. Next week's episode is okay. This probably do a lot better than that one. Okay. Next week's episode is a storm of revenge and a range army comes to attack. yeah, that's next week's episode. Looks like it's going to be chapter 845 next week. Okay? So until I see you all in the next episode, bye.